So ever since Mike and I started this business, strange things have been happening. And Mike and I had a long conversation last night, and we want to share something with y'all, but we're a little nervous because we know that there's people out there that are probably going to say we're crazy, that we're lunatics. But you know what? We are lunatics, so why not just run with it? So Mike and I have a very, very strong spiritual connection. Strange things, like his birthday is the same day as my brother's birthday. His mom's birthday is the same day as my sister's birthday. The street that he grew up on, the name of the street, same name of the same street that I grew up on, only I grew up in a totally different town. Well, at least the beginning of my childhood was spent living on a street in a totally different town that matched the same name of the same street that he lives on. And strange things started happening to us, like finding 2 glass elephants 2 weeks apart in a trailer that had been borrowed by somebody else and used. This open trailer with all the holes and grates. So we were cleaning out the trailer after letting his friend borrow it. And my man goes, "Be careful. Hold up." He was sweeping it. He goes, "Back up, hold up, I see something." So he looks down and he sees something shining, and he says, "There's a piece of glass. There's a piece of glass down at the bottom of the trailer." And you could see just a little shine of this piece of glass, and it was all dirty. And so we picked it up, and he was like, "I don't know, that looks like it might be something. Let's wash it off and see what it is." It's a little tiny piece of glass. So we took it and washed it off. I don't know if you can see that, but that is the trunk has been broken off, which was my fault when I was cleaning it. But when I got it, it was a perfect elephant. A perfect elephant. Here we go. Do you see that? Little trunk? The eyeballs, the ears. Y'all see that? A little baby elephant. Well, my grandmother had just passed away, and we were in the middle of making a wood burn of my grandmother. And my grandmother was obsessed with elephants. Obsessed with elephants. She had little trinkets, little elephant trinkets everywhere. On every table, on every surface, everywhere. My mom's obsessed with elephants. My little sister's obsessed with elephants. My little sister had a stuffed elephant when she was a baby. Not a stuffed teddy bear, not a stuffed doggy, a stuffed elephant. That was her honey. She carried him around everywhere she went. I said, "That's so crazy." We were making a wood burn of my grandmother at the time, and we find a little baby glass elephant in the trailer. We took it as a sign. We took it as a sign for my grandmother. It meant something. It had to mean something. At the time, I was moving in with Michael. We took it as a sign that my grandmother was, that she was supportive of our decision. 2 weeks later, he gives a trailer to his friend again, his cousin. His cousin uses it for a couple days. Gives it back to us. It's all dirty again, so we got to sweep it out. He's sweeping it out. I shit you not. I shit you not. As he's cleaning it out, he sees another piece of glass. He sees another piece of glass. We're like, no way. No way. Well, when I told him about my grandmother and her love for elephants, he told me a story about his own grandmother and her love for elephants. You see, his grandmother was obsessed with elephants too. Another connection that we have. We thought there's no way that they could be 2 baby twin elephants. But we cleaned them off, and here we got 2 twin baby elephants found 2 weeks apart in an open trailer that had been being driven across town multiple times. That second week, we were doing a wood burn for his mother for Mother's Day. His mom had just lost her twin sister. There was another day that we were on a longboard going down the Wekiva River. And we were enjoying our day, and we were talking about the business and all the things that we were going to do with the business. And we talked about making puzzles, because my fiance's mother loves to make puzzles. My son loves puzzles. We are both autistic, which the autistic symbol is the puzzle piece. And we discussed our plan as we were floating down the river. And on the way back, when we were floating back, we were almost to dock when I saw something floating in the river. It was the first time I had seen anything floating in the river, because this was the cleanest area that, people aren't allowed to bring stuff there. They're not allowed to bring trash up the river. But there was a piece of something glistening on top of the water as we were floating by, and I was like, what is that? He's like, I don't know, go towards it and see what it is. It was a pristine woodcut puzzle piece. Now, this is not the exact puzzle piece, but this is also a wood puzzle piece. This is a different puzzle piece that I found a totally different time. But it was a puzzle piece nonetheless, just like this. I encased it in our wood burn because it was so special to me. We saw it as a message saying that we were on the right track. Of all the pieces of trash that we could have found, what are the odds that it would be a puzzle piece? On top of that, what are the odds that it would be a wood cut puzzle piece? These are made out of cardboard a lot of times, but not this one. This one's made out of wood. You know where I found this one? I found this one skating along a path that I skate on every day. I was talking about Madeline Soto at the time, and how I believed that she was being trafficked. I found this puzzle piece. It was broken right on my path. Another message from the other side. I've been getting them a lot lately. So I did a drawing the other day for a wood burn. Many people joined in the fun. The raffle tickets were $5 each. There were a couple people who had donated enough to buy 8 tickets, giving them a much higher chance of winning. But the girl who won, she only bought 2. Her chances were less, but she won nonetheless. I gave her my number, and she sent me this message. Don't worry, I've asked her. She said it was okay if I shared it with y'all. Hello, Salty. It's Caitlin from TikTok. Shivers and tears, but all happy. I was talking to my grandpa who passed away, and I just said tonight how I was missing him and thinking of him. And then this happened tonight. My heart is so full. She got me thinking about my own grandfather, who I mentioned several times in the live, which is odd because I don't talk about him often. But I lost my grandfather a few years ago. I talked about that. I talked about his love for roses. My grandfather loved roses. He had a whole rose garden he tended to every day. His favorite song was Bette Midler's The Rose, and music was his life. He was a conductor of an orchestra, the Orlando Orchestra. He played the trumpet, and he was very good. He was part of the Orlando Jazz Society, and music was everything to him. And his favorite song was The Rose, and I talked about it on my live. Like I said, I don't talk about him often. So later when I thought about it, it struck me as odd. Me and my grandfather have a special connection. My grandfather had Alzheimer's, and I didn't talk to him much in the end, maybe a couple times a year. I didn't realize how bad things were getting and how quickly they were deteriorating. You see, my grandfather came to me in a dream the night that he passed away, the night that he went away. I'll explain more in part 2.